Salam students, welcome back to your environmental studies online class. Today we are going to study a new chapter in environmental studies. Okay, so again we will play by the hints and you have to guess the name of the chapter. Okay, see here on your screens. Who am I? So, in this, what you have to do, you just have to tell me the name of the thing, whatever I'm going to give you the hint. Okay, so let's begin the game. I have an engine and two wheels. I have an engine and two wheels. Who have an engines and two wheels? Who have an engine and two wheels? Who have an engine and two wheels? Answer is car. Who have an engine and two wheels? Yes, cars have engine and two wheels. So the answer is car. Again, next riddle. I take you to long distance through air. Who takes us to the long distance on air? Who takes us? Yes, an aeroplane. An aeroplane. So now I'm just hoping that you understand the name of the chapter now. Which chapter this is? Yes, this is our chapter number 10, Transports. Chapter number 10, Transports. Okay, so today we are going to read about the different means of transport. Okay, we are going to read about transports. So we are going to study chapter number 10, Transport. Now see, transports carry us from one place to another. Whenever we want to go from one place to another, we use the means of transports. There are so many different kinds of transports. I'm going to show you further. But whenever we want to go from one place to another, or we have to send goods from one place to another, you just have to use transports. Okay. Now see, basically in this chapter we are going to study about the traveling and different means of transport. So first see the traveling. Traveling. Whenever we want to go to the school, we go to school by school bus. By school bus. We go to school by school bus. So it is the means of traveling. It is the means of traveling. Here transport is our school bus and it is the means of traveling to school. Okay, so we use school bus. Similarly, next is auto rickshaw. Whenever we want to go somewhere and we do not have any other vehicle, we go through the auto rickshaw. So auto rickshaw is also a different means of traveling. Different means of traveling. Next is train. Whenever we want to go some far place, so we use train. We use trains. So it is also a means of traveling. Trains are also a means of traveling. Or sometimes we also send goods through the trains. As you ever heard about the Malgadi? Yes, so this train is used for sending the goods. Okay. Now see, another is an aeroplane. An aeroplane or a helicopter. They are used for going on far distances or from one country to another. Whenever people wants to go from one country to another, they usually use the aeroplanes, but it is little bit costly. They travel in air above the clouds. Next is ship. Ship is also a means of transport, or we can say traveling. Ships are also Ships are also the means of traveling and they run on sea or oceans. They run on water. They run on water. So different means of transport. Now we are going to study about the different means of transport. There are basically three means of transport: land transports, water transports, and air transports. Basically, there are three different means of transports: land transports, water transports, and air transports. Okay, so let us see the land transports. We are going to see the land transports. Here is the land transports. It consists of the vehicles that moves on the roads and the rails. Okay, basically these are those transports which are based on the vehicles that moves on the roads and the rails. All the vehicles which runs on the roads and the rails are the land transports. Simple, because with the word land transport you understand all the vehicles that runs on the land are called the land transport. See, car. We use cars to go our offices or to travel from one place to another. So we use car. We use car to travel to our offices, or whenever we want to go somewhere and we have so many people, so we like four or five people, so we use cars in that situation. Okay, or we use carts. So carts are pulled by animals like horses and oxen. Carts are pulled by animals. Animals pull the carts. So carts are pulled by animals like horses and oxen. These are those animals who pull the carts. Okay. So they pull the carts. Next is bicycle. Bicycle and auto rickshaws are driven by a man. Bicycle and auto rickshaws are always driven by a man. Okay. Bicycle and auto rickshaw are driven by a man. Some people use bicycle for the exercise, or whenever we want to go in short distance, we use bicycles. And auto rickshaw, similarly, auto rickshaw we use for the nearby places. So they both are driven by the man. They both driven by the man. Okay. Now see the air transports. We are going to see the air transports. Okay. So here air transports consist of vehicles which fly in the air. Okay, so basically air transports consist of the vehicles which fly in the air. Simple. In air, some of the vehicles flies in the air. Some of the vehicles flies in the airs. It is the fastest but the costliest means of the transport. It is the fastest but the costliest means of the transport. That means if we want to go through the air, it charges more than any of the transport. So it is the costliest means, but it is also the fastest means, because if we want to go somewhere as early as possible, we use air transports for that, because it is the fastest means of transport, and people can go to the other countries in few hours. If we want to go to the another country, we can reach in the few hours, or even if we want to go to the another city even, so we use aeroplanes to reach as soon as possible. Okay, so we use aeroplanes for the fastest traveling. Next is our helicopter. Helicopter is also the another means of transport. As aeroplanes as aeroplanes travels high in the sky above the clouds, but but helicopter does not fly in the clouds or more above the ground. It is in the air but not on the clouds. It also used to transport the peoples from one place to another. Okay. Next is water transport. In air transports, we can also see rockets. Rockets are also the fastest means of transport, and rockets are used to sent on the different planets to find out whether there is lives or not. It is used by the scientists. Next is our water transports. Next is our water transports. So, ships, boats, ferries, and submarines are the means of water transports. Ships, boats, ferries, and submarine are the means of water transport. That means they only runs on water. They only runs on water. Who runs on the water? Ships, boats, ferries, and submarines. Sea transport is the slowest means of transport. So, which is the fastest means of transport? Air transport. And which is the slowest means of transport? Sea transport. Sea transport is the slowest means of transport. However, they can use to transport big quantity of goods. Usually, sea transport are used to transport the big quality or greater amount of goods from one place to another, and sometimes it is also used to transport the passengers. But it is the slowest means. That is why mostly no peoples not mostly peoples are use sea transport. They use only other means of transports, because sea transports is the slowest means of transport. I'm going to show you one picture. Which picture is this? This is the picture of B O A T. Boat. This is the picture of boat. This is the picture of boat. And you know, boat travels on water. Boat travels on water. So it is a water transport. So boats are generally used by the fishermen for fishing. Generally, fishermen uses the boats for the fishing. Fisherman uses the boats for fishing. Okay. So generally it is the basic use of boats. Next is what it is. It is ship. It is a big ship. Okay. And we know ship also travels on the water, so it is a water transport. So a ship can travel across sea and oceans. A ship can travel across sea and oceans. It carry goods and passengers from one country to another. Okay, whenever we want to go one country to another, we can also use ship. But ship is the slowest means. That is why most of the people usually use aeroplanes. A ship can travel across sea and oceans. On the sea and oceans, only ship can travel from one place to another, and it also carries goods and passengers from one country to another, from transporting one country to another. Next is, what picture is this? This is the picture of a submarine. 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 This is the picture of submarine. Let's read about the submarine. A submarine travels under the sea. A submarine always travels under the sea. A submarine always travels under the sea. Okay. Next is what is this? This is the picture of which thing? Which transport? This is again big ship or ferry. This is a ferry. 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 This is a picture of ferry. Ferries can be used to transport people as well as vehicles over a short distance. Whenever we want to go on a short distance through the water, we can use ferries in a particular state or city. Ferries can be used to transport people. It transports the peoples, but it also transports the vehicles with them. Okay, so ferries are used to ferries are used to transport peoples as well as the vehicles over a short distance. So this is the use of water transport. So let's recall once what we had read today. So basically we had read about the different means of transport and traveling. We can travel through the bus, auto rickshaw, train, aeroplane, and ship. We can travel through these all the things. And there are different means of transport: land transport, air transport, and water transport. So here is the land transport. It consists of vehicles that move on the roads and the rails. Land transport consists of the vehicles that moves on road and rails. Okay. So here is an example: car. Next is carts are pulled by animals like horses and oxen. So here is the example of carts, that is oxen cart, horses cart, block cart. Next is bicycle and auto rickshaw are driven by a man. Bicycle and auto rickshaw are driven by the men. That means they can drive by the men, and bicycle is also used for the exercise. Next is air transport. Air transport consists of vehicles which fly in the air. They consist of the vehicles that fly in the air. It is the fastest but the costliest means of transport. People can go to the other country in few hours. Example, see here what it is. It is an aeroplane. It is an aeroplane. Okay. So it is an aeroplane. Next is the another means of air transport is helicopter. Here is helicopter. Next is the water transports. Ships, boats, ferries, and submarines are the means of water transport. These are the means of water transports. Sea transport is the slowest means of the transport. However, they can use to transport big quantity of goods. Okay, they all the sea and the sea have the harbors. From there, they can carry goods and transport these goods from one place to another, and also peoples. But it is the slowest means of the transport. First is boat. Boats are generally used by the fishermen for fishing. As we read about that, boats are generally used by the fishermen for fishing. Next is a ship. A ship can travel across sea and oceans. A ship can travel across sea and oceans. It carries goods and passengers from one country to another. It carries goods and passengers from one country to another. Okay? Now see the next, submarine. Next is submarine. A submarine travel under the sea. A submarine travel under the sea. Next is what? Ferries. Ferries can be used to transport people as well as vehicles over a short distance. Okay, so ferries are used to transport people as well as vehicles over a short distance. So this is about your chapter number 10, transport. This is about your chapter number 10, transport. Now you got it. Who am I in this chapter? What are the uses of different means of transportations? How they can use? Okay, so in which ways you can use the different means of transport like land transport, water transport, and air transport. Okay, so study well at your home this chapter. Stay safe, stay well. Thank you so much. Hope you are going to study well for your further exams. So try to understand what we are going to teach you. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.